Do you ever see something, look at something, or just visualize anything that you use, eat, or smell, and just think, I can do a better job myself? Welcome to the Triple Take. I'm Frank.
I'm Manny.
I'm Joseph.
And today we're going to be talking about the DIY culture, do-it-yourself culture that has been raving through the United States social culture. I wanted to bring this up because I've recently been following this DIY culture. You know, I've been making my own detergent, deodorant, and I'm looking into making my own milk. And obviously, like, honestly, actually, if I really think back on it, yes, you could do that. If I think back on it. But
where's your cow?
No, like almond oats.
Would you be considered vegan at that point?
No, that's not necessarily true. Because I would still eat meat. But I just wouldn't do DIY that myself. The furthest I would go with that is go to like a farmer's market. So basically, I think this all started for me specifically. It's when I started to I wanted to actually learn how to like cook different recipes. And then I think Manny can relate to me on this because through that experience of me wanting to cook my own recipes and like find out these different ways to cook and just do different things, is I started looking at the actual ingredients I was using, and I wanted to use, obviously, like when you cook it yourself, you want to use the best quality ingredients you can, right? Not to use like the bad stuff. Through that, it kind of opened the world to me of like realizing that all these, and specifically in the United States, all these different things, like different chemicals and different utensils that you use that can have a very bad effect on your health. And I think the consistent use of these, like, leading to most people having like different defective things mentally, physically, and sometimes even emotionally, depending on how you look at it. What it allows for, I think people have been kind of gearing towards this, like, oh, what are we actually eating? Like paying more attention to the things that they're actually consuming, smelling, and seeing. And this has led to the surge of this DIY culture.
I personally, the only representation I have of this, I'm new to this. This is a whole new thing for me, so don't shoot me in the foot if I'm sounding a little bit off. The closest thing I've had to it is when I was brought here in 2007. My dad had a vision to create what he would eventually create with my brothers and sisters and my mother, his perfect home. We never hired a company for anything that we did in the house. Basically started from scratch and built rooms, built pools, decks, gazebos, straight by ourselves without the reliance on getting like a contractor with a company, so that way they could do it for us. That's the best thing I got for you in terms of DIY.
I mean, I could give you more examples, but we'll get there. How about you, Joseph? What have you been? What is your?
It's a work in progress. Well, I mean, there's a lot of things, like, namely, especially with cooking, only because there are times where, me as a Puerto Rican, I can get tired of arroz con habichuela y pollo.
That's what I'm eating today.
I'm surprised you didn't say grandule.
Oh, that's only for, like, special occasions.
What's a gandule?
Peas.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Because then there are times where I'm just like, oh, like, Mom, can we cook this? And she's like, no, I don't know how to do it. And I'm just like, but YouTube, like, growing up as a kid.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't, like, give me the time of day for it. So I was like, ugh, whatever. And then one time we go grocery shopping and I'll put things in the cart when she wasn't paying attention. And she bought the stuff for me.
That's crazy.
I
mean, kids do that all the time. It's just most of the time they notice.
Oh, look.
Which is to say,
Wait.
Which is to say, hold on for a second.
A little bit far.
Wait a second. Usually the parent notices. So it's either one of two things. Your mom just did not care, or two, you were a sneaky kid. Because that's crazy.
I think option 2 is more likely than option 1.
I agree.
And
it could be a little bit of both.
Either which way,
but mostly
got the stuff, and then on a weekend, because obviously at the time I was in school, I would be like, okay, cool, want to do it. Pull up the YouTube video, watch it again. Okay, cool. Go to the kitchen, rewatch it as I cook the stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, what does it look like? Obviously, I'm cooking.
Well, what were you making?
I don't remember at the time.
Oh, okay.
Because there are a lot of little recipes that I did back then, just like little like one plate recipes.
When was this? How old were you?
He said he went to school, so he's more than likely in high school.
I'm assuming high school, but hey, you never know with Joseph, honestly.
Well, sometime in middle school.
I knew it.
wow.
I was like, yo, it might be middle school, bro.
And then I'm here, like, following the video, and she's like, oh, like, in shock that I actually had an interest in cooking after I said, let's try making this. Blah, 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 blah. Do something a little different.
Yeah.
Well, there'd be, like, different pasta stuff or,
Even just a new recipe here and there.
yeah.
Outside of the norm.
Yeah.
I agree.
And, I had it, and my apology was her trying it, and she's like, wow, this is really good. And I was like, wow, I can learn something. Like,
So does most of this DIY culture, remember, this is the noob talking.
The noob.
So does it stem from the fact that YouTube has opened up a platform to where people have been able to use like it in an entertainment aspect into a learning aspect?
Yeah. See. Yeah. I was gonna get to that. Like after you guys like said how you got, you know, exposed to it, or like kind of how you like kind of like me framing it in that way. Like you can kind of see how it relates to you, right? So for me, like obviously YouTube with recipes. I think we all three of us have done that. You know, looked up at YouTube and like a recipe and try to find something new to cook, or even just like see if you could do it.
Buttery garlic chicken Alfredo.
homemade pizza.
You can make that out of rice, by the way. That's fire.
You can also make it out of cauliflower.
Yes, it's actually pretty simple. Anyway, but you also see it now. You also see it in like Instagram, TikTok, like basically every social media platform. But I think YouTube was like one of the first to really do it. Like you see all these like chefs like putting their recipes like to kind of like shout out their businesses and stuff like that.
Not even that. You see a lot of more mechanics that people just make a living off of teaching you how to change your brakes or how to change a spark plug.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
People teaching you how to edit, full on like hardcore like special effects, like literally people that only specialize in color grading and literally put out like 2 to 4 hour videos in length
Yeah.
talking about how to really like what the effects do, like how can you really control it, how to actually apply it, and they offer like different plugins that already have certain settings. Input it if you already like it, cool. Just do the plugin, have the plugin just do the work for you.
That's why I feel the education system, because we talked about this in a previous episode about how the education system, like when it comes to college, I should say, it's hard for a person to not look at it and go, all this stuff I have to pay for in college, I could just learn on YouTube University for FREE.
Yeah, YouTube University is a real thing, you know, and I agree with you on the college thing, like, but there's obviously specific things that you should go to college for,
100%.
like being a doctor,
Yes.
quantum physicist,
Lawyer.
stuff like that, a
Stuff
lawyer.
that takes, I would believe, practical like work.
Not even that, just like certifications and actual like knowledge, like
Yeah.
really like profound the knowledge that you won't be able to really, like you could do it on your own, but like it's just unrealistic to condense, to really grab all that information from various sources and do it yourself when you have a university that's been doing that for years.
Yeah, I mean, I think
just
that
kinda
really
do it sort of do it
stems
yourself.
from like certain industries or like jobs or roles where you kind of really have to think outside the box. There are certain things that you like, let's say for healthcare, you kind of have to think within the box, like how you're gonna really help this person. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'll lead to that because like talking about like a little bit about healthcare and DIY culture, like how that kind of pertains to each other. But like when it comes to like learning things on YouTube, we'll just use YouTube because it's really the main source, right? It's just like you see these in tutorials, like even like when we were kids, bro. Like we would how to do this on the PlayStation or the Xbox, or how to fix your
Not to fix a troubleshoot. basically
yeah
on your
some random stuff
PlayStation.
like that.
I would do that a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
Like before, if you really think about it, before you would have to go to like a person that actually knows, like
A specialist.
the specialist on like those technologically advanced at the time consoles. So it's like you need someone to do it for you. Like it wasn't not you were not going to be able to figure that out on your own without someone telling you. Like especially as a kid, right? So like a good example is one time my video game got stuck in my Wii, and I just showed my dad a video of how to do it because he wouldn't let me use the things because it was actually kind of dangerous. He had a what's it called, the heat thing.
oh, welding.
Yeah, but it's different for electronics.
Soldering.
Yeah, he had to solder it. So I had to show him the video on how to do it because obviously I can't handle that. I'm a child. So at least without supervision. And then he fixed it on his own. So like before you had to take that somewhere. Now, but he did it on his own. It really, like, this is a thing that's been happening for a while, probably since towards the beginning of even YouTube had. But like when you see this sudden surge of like you see this public unrest of like in the United States specifically, things not being the way companies and the government says it is, and people starting to really realize like, whoa, like this stuff isn't as good, or I didn't realize how bad this stuff was for me, or like the environment or my kids. So it's just like, and then once you pair that with the things that I'm relying on corporations, government to do for me, and when you realize how easy it is to do it yourself at cheaper cost, better ingredients, and
Better
honestly,
pizza, Papa John's. I'm just kidding.
and honestly, like sometimes a good time. He just shaking hands over that comment. That's so stupid. And honestly, like having a good time of actually learning how to do something, because I'm sure Joseph can agree. Like learning something new is fun, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's
I
just
mean,
like
it's how I learned how to build my PC.
yeah, like yeah, he learned how to build his PC like
Which,
that.
granted, like I've been wanting to do that for years until like COVID happened. I was out for 2 weeks. Said screw it. Ordered all the parts and just made it happen.
Exactly. Like and all you needed was a video and some time and effort.
Yeah.
That's really it. And like and that like all that encompassed together really led to, I feel like, what I'm calling this surge of DIY culture. And like even Manny like mentioned it just recently, like when he was talking about like building the house with his dad. You really start to realize, yes, you can pay someone to do it. If like honestly, if it's really like way above your head, you should.
Oh yeah,
Pay a
no.
professional.
We had one instance where I can give you the quick example of we didn't necessarily know how to completely start the pool, so we had somebody
that's hard,
like
bro.
do the I would say like the blueprint for it, and then like set it up so that
The
way we could just
foundational work.
finish it.
The foundational work basically. Which is
Yeah.
like honestly like the hardest, most like contractual worthy part. So it's like everything else is like just manual labor of like just working hard, right?
Granted, it was because my mom told my dad he wasn't doing that part and that we were gonna pay for somebody to do it. 'Cause
Yeah,
originally we
I
were gonna
remember
do
you
it.
said that. I remember you said that. I mean, knowing your dad, like I'm not surprised. But
Shout out to you, Pop.
that really goes to show you that for a lot of things, more than we realized before, as long as you're willing to, as long as you have the time and you're willing to put in the hard work, you could really do most things yourself.
Yeah, people could be a lot more independent than
Exactly.
they realize.
Yeah, and like I feel like we live in a government where like, or I guess it's kind of conspiracy a little bit, but like a little bit, but we live kind of in a government and like a society of the United States specifically where where like they don't want us to really be as independent, more as dependent on the government or healthcare or like things.
Because they're scared of a society where we don't need to be dependent on them or even on corporations or anything. They're scared of that society, which it's a high impossibility that eventually we will not necessarily need them, because obviously there's certain corporations that we just can't live without in reality. That's just my opinion.
So yeah, that kind of leads me into like suggesting like, okay, you got these big corporations and this what capitalist society that we got here in the United States, right? When it comes to, well, you kind of mentioned it before when you talked about Microsoft, it going down and how much of an effect it had like on a lot of things, that a lot of very important things,
Yeah.
like airplanes.
Airplanes, banks, healthcare, literally everything.
So when you have corporations that are so in tune with like everything that's going on, like they're like it, the society is very dependent on them working well, right? And then you also have a lack of regulation. It leads to very damaging things to the environment and the people consuming their products, right? And that's kind of like where we're experiencing here in the United States, because you see a bunch, like you see a lot of videos floating around now, at least I do, of like people going to other countries, or even I've experienced it going to the Dominican Republic, and I've eaten things that I like fried food, like I'm talking about empanadas, rice, chicken, all that stuff, right? Over here it would make me feel bloated and very like, you know, but over
It
there
gets you overweight.
yeah, kind of basically, yeah, it makes me feel like bad when I eat it, but over there like I feel fine, I feel great, I actually lose weight. Like over here I eat a salad, I gain weight. Over there I eat like things I shouldn't be eating, air quotes, and I feel fine, or even actually better than fine. And it goes to show you like the quality of ingredients, the quality of food, specifically food, in this situation, from our country to other countries.
I mean, even compared to stuff like us going to the supermarket here in the U.S., there's so much stuff in whatever we eat
Yeah, just think about
and
the
just buy
cereals.
off the shelf.
Yeah,
Whereas you go to another country, you need to just read the ingredients. literally less than half of what we eat, and it's just plain bare bones. Whatever actually supposed, what you're getting is what you get.
Usually, yeah, and then the things that actually have those ingredients cost way more. Like I'm talking about, like probably double, sometimes triple the price. And the things that they use for the what's it called, the affordable option, air quotes, is they add things, chemicals, dyes that are banned and literally everywhere else. Like when I found out that when you're talking about Fruit Loops, when you find out that Fruit Loops makes the same product, they make their product for Canada, which is shipped to Canada, and for here in the same spot, which is here in the United States, and it's two different products with two completely different sets of ingredients. Here, the one they send for here is the ones that have all the chemicals and the dyes in it, and the ones that they send to Canada are completely different, a lot healthier for you, and they don't contain all those extra dyes and chemicals.
Okay. This is getting a little political, but I'm just gonna say this. The reason for that is they just want to make people fat and reliant on this crap. I'm just be honest. And the fear,
I mean, I agree.
the fear is that controlled, because we're talking about DIY culture, and now I'm starting to not become a noob and become a novice. And
Because you're starting to understand a little bit more what encompasses it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you you're gonna flow better once I explain it.
So the fear of doing it yourself puts into effect the fact that a lot of people will be healthier and reject certain things that we normally,
fear for them, for their fear of us doing that.
yeah.
Okay, I understand.
So their fear of that we'll be able to do it and do it better and healthier in this situation of speaking of food is so real. But in reality, and I'm just being honest, I don't mean to be the bad guy here, most people are too lazy to do it themselves. So they just say, I don't want to do it myself. Why can I do that when I could just go buy it? That's
true.
a reality. That's a real take right there. I'm trying to be honest here.
I mean, yeah, in the U.S., the mentality is just, oh, you have money, go pay or buy something for it, which is
honestly,
stupid.
and if you want to take it a step further, even if you don't have the money, you borrow the money through credit to get things that you can, due to the lack of knowledge, you buy it instead of doing it yourself.
I don't know why that made me think about, like, yeah, I'm going to DIY a bank. I'll be my own bank. My own credit line. Oh, no.
No, I don't think you could.
You need collateral, but
you need mega collateral for that.
but for real though, like if you think about back in the day, like if you're talking about like collateral and like money and stuff like that, right? Like back in the day, the way people used to pay and the kind of exchange currency before like the paper money would be like, oh,
trading,
like I'll give you 3
bartering.
goats for 2 chickens or something like that. Obviously, that's a terrible deal.
That's a terrible deal.
But like they would do stuff like that, you know,
That's
like or trade a service for a service.
It's like saying I give you 3 things of breakfast for 1 piece of dinner.
But it's just you're stupid. But it's just like. But you see, like,
wait, pause. Because
Yeah.
then, what if you're giving me a female goat? I have a male goat. Now I have a colony of goats. It depends. Depends on what you're doing.
I mean, it depends on what you need, right?
Yeah,
Depends on
I'm
what you
sorry,
need.
I was thinking of it in the food term. I'm
Yeah.
on the food.
I can
Nah,
grow
you're
more
good.
food.
But like, if you think about it like that, and the way like wages and currency works now is completely different. Like you're entirely reliant on corporations and government, right? Entirely, unless you own your own gold.
Whoever refutes that, you need to look in the mirror and like readjust your life.
Unless you own like gold, oil, or land, and like literal assets. That's why when people talk about what's your net worth, it's just like that's not cash. That's like, well, most of the time that's not cash. But
Assets you can.
even though it's not always accurate either. But
Yeah.
either way, like most of that is what people have. Like when they have high net worths, most of that is literally just like houses, land, businesses, vehicles, like things that hold value over time, right? Not money. If money goes down, like they still have value in what they have, right? That they can provide, right? Which will possibly go back to trading if the currency ever does fall. But either way, all that plays a factor in this DIY culture that I'm seeing, right? And then obviously, like I said, it's a long up and coming thing. And all these factors of like the government, people starting to become more aware. Like I guess like even if you look back to like this recent political thing, say what you will about what happened, but you saw more younger voters like actually voting. Like you see more people, more of the younger people, more in the political space now. Like it's starting to go away from all these older people that have been doing all these political things for like generations, and it's starting like people like the younger people are starting to take more interest in the political aspect of things, and that goes to show you like that everybody's actually starting to pay attention, right? And this all comes with that DIY culture, because you're not just relying on these corporations and the government to do everything for you. I've been to supermarkets, and I've seen people that are living in difficult situations, or even not even just supermarkets with food, like even just like the guy that's flashy and all this stuff that lives like, let's say, in like a 1 square foot apartment in New York. Not to say every New Yorker's like this, but this is just what I think of, because New York space is expensive, right? 1 square foot place in New York, having all this flashy jewelry, flashy clothes, flashy shoes, but then they live in this terrible place with like a mattress on the floor and a chair with barely any food. But like, what's the point, bro? Like, really, what's the point? And it's like this, that's the type of consumer mentality that has kind of been affecting the masses for a long time now. And like, you see this,
it's like living the illusion instead of living the life.
Exactly. And that's kind of like what, because I don't know if you guys seen that clip of like some dude, like a really old clip about some dude talking about how New York is like a crazy science experiment where the people are the guards and the prisoners.
100%.
Yeah. And it's just like that. I'll show you the clip. I saw it recently, but it kind of goes to show you, and that was a really long time ago. So it's like, it goes to show you like how long ago this has been coming, like of people like seeing this systematic pushing down of people's individuality and mentality, and like pushing more towards this dependency on corporations and government, like specifically that comes up with, and it makes lazy people, and those people are way easier to control.
I think that ties into this so well, because there's a certain point of me when I look at it, again, my opinion.
Of course, yeah. That's what I want to hear.
The government, in a sense, controls what the world is doing, and it doesn't want to lose control of that, because the fear of losing control when it comes to a political standpoint leads them to believe that we're going to live in a state of anarchy, and we won't need government, and we won't need to be led, or air quotes, led by these people. So in the sense of this culture moving forward, we look at it, and I'm glad to see that there's a further development of this DIY culture, because people need to be more self-sufficient in just everywhere, because we don't realize the harm we're doing, just not only to our ecosystem, but to our younger generation as well.
Facts.
About allowing them to live a way that will lead them towards what I feel is a depressing and miserable life, if not guided in the right direction.
We feel.
Yeah.
Not just you.
Because then being that dependent and having, whether it be like, which is stupid if you think about it, like if the government's trying to control like people, and like, oh, like people shouldn't have a choice or whatever, but then the people in charge of the government are the ones making the choice, which is such a counterintuitive argument to make, because you're still a person making decisions.
They just want power. That's just the whole.
It's just
that's
power.
the whole.
Yeah,
thing.
no, I know.
And there's a stereotype.
No, I know you know.
There's a
just wanting to say
stereotype that if, like, you know, we were talking about food, so like there's a obviously the stereotype is if you're fat, you're weak, you're easily manipulated, something like that. That's the stereotype that would go around. That's how the government sees that, in a sense.
Yeah, but then,
At least through my perspective, I agree. Yeah.
like, let's say, and this is me just giving like an over-exaggerated example, but let's say things fall apart and we have a zombie apocalypse. Realistically, DIYers would be the ones better off, because they're
100%.
Because the main thing,
I didn't even talk about homesteaders yet.
yeah, the main thing that they got is literally their simple ability to just problem solve.
Like, even though
for real.
you bring up the zombie apocalypse, you can make it even more realistic in the sense of, what if we ever went to war and somebody EMP'd us and we lost all power?
Them Tesla dudes are cooked,
Like,
and girls.
Like the DIYers thrive underneath that. That's another point to make, is the fact that, like, the government doesn't want for us to be in a crisis situation and all of a sudden everybody knows how to handle it themselves. We don't need them to basically assist us in this sense, because obviously if they don't assist us, they don't get the money.
Yeah, and like, and it goes so deep. Like, I could talk about this for ages, but I'll try not to get too deep into like specific political arguments at this point. But like, and I also want to give a disclaimer of, like, when we say government in a general sense, we don't mean like the entire government, because because there's obviously like specific peoples and with specific agendas, and not everybody has an agenda to like put the people down. Like, you know, like it's just specific people, and probably like that's the loudest, most like powerful voice, because usually that's how it is, right? Like the majority is usually technically the minority in terms of like power and like possession. Like you talk about the 1%, right? And that's why it's important, like when you see like all these younger people getting into politics and like actually caring about community and the government, because it allows for us to move forward with policy that'll actually help people.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially people that like do this DIY and like understand like there's certain things you could do. And, you know, like when we talk about healthcare, right? When you go to the doctor, like I'm sure like you guys can understand this. Like if you got any type of pain or any type of infection or anything like that, you always get a pill.
Here's a pill.
You always get a pill.
Here's a pill.
And like, man, look, let me tell you something
Red
about
pill,
that.
blue pill.
When I started doing research, and I've been also doing research on like holistic doctors and nurses and stuff like that, and I ran into like this person called Barbara O'Neill. I'm not sure if people know who that is. I'm sure some of the viewers may. You guys, do you know? You guys know?
Nope.
Okay, so she's an Australian mother that basically like throughout her life she kind of like had a bad experience when it comes to like her daughter and like the medical healthcare, yeah. And so she decided to learn how to do things on her own, which basically she asked her neighbor, which is like some old lady at the time. And this is when she was younger. She's pretty old, but just for context, she's pretty old. So when she was younger, she asked an even older lady about what they would do before pills and all that stuff. What they would do to their kids to like heal like an ear infection. Because she had her daughter on ear infection medicine, like pills, for months, and it wasn't doing anything. And you know what she did that actually stopped it in like around a week or two? She just put an onion on a pan, heated it up, and put it on her ear, and it helped. That's it. Just putting an onion on her ear, bro. Because like I'm not saying we don't need medicine and like medical doctors, but like it goes to show you like there's levels to it. Like when you need surgeries and like medical knowledge, yeah, of course, go to the doctor. Like you cut your finger off, dude. You don't do that on your own.
But yeah, you can just put it back.
You're crazy. Yeah, I don't know who's hard enough to do that, bro. That's pretty crazy.
But there's a lot of in that sense, it's like, I don't want to say the science of home remedies, but the art per se of home remedies.
You could say either or, I think.
Because there's a lot of.
That's how you look at it.
There's a like with the like painkiller thing with like opioids.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors, at least not anymore, but at the time they were quick to just be like, "Oh, this is the quickest solution."
Because it was
it's
new,
not necessarily, aside from it being new, but like it wasn't necessarily like actually curing the scenario. It was more just like, "Oh, treat the symptoms. It should go away on its own." Yeah. Whereas a good amount of home remedies, granted, literally the most inexpensive things imaginable.
Bro, you could buy an onion, cure your ear infection. Come on now. There's nothing more inexpensive than that.
Right. Whereas, oh, you need a whole treatment plan, blah, 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 blah.
You need these drops that we're putting towards the CVS that you got to pick up.
Yeah, and then like one time, because I have hypersensitive skin, it is what it is. I was born this way. $1,000. Mind you, I had to pay like $40 for it, and I was like, $40 for something the size of my pinky? And I looked on, like, you know, you look at your insurance, and I go through like the claims, see that little tube. I think it was $1,792.83, and I was just like
before insurance.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So I was just like, how is this like the worth of like 2 iPhones?
That's one.
Yeah, you know, you've been living under a rock,
that's
my
one.
guy. That's 2 iPhones.
Me?
Yes, that's 2 iPhones.
Okay, I'm thinking about the most expensive one.
Yeah, no, I'm just base model.
Oh, okay.
2 iPhones.
We were both right. But you continue.
And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I'm just mind boggled that that's a thing. And I probably could have used an onion for my finger. Who knows?
Honestly, possibly. It could have been potatoes. I'm being so serious.
Or
maybe
garlic.
Maybe it's just me.
Maybe not that, but
Maybe
yeah.
it's just me.
What's up?
But I feel
World's effed up. That's what it is.
No.
I mean,
I'm gonna say this.
not the
I'm
language
gonna
I would
say
use,
this.
but
I'm
I
gonna
can
say-
agree with what you're saying.
I'm gonna say this. It's crazy to think that we live in a world where somebody's life always has a dollar sign on it.
Yes. When you're talking about corporations and government, yes.
It's crazy to think we live in that world.
I mean, even people, right?
No, like in general.
No, your surgery
saying
is
the
like
co-
$32,000. We don't cover it. Blah, blah.
Yeah, die.
It's literally how
What?
it is. It saddens me that we live in that world, that there are people out there who've lost family members, who've lost loved ones, just due to the fact that these corporations and government and all this stuff hide the fact that they can help this person and put it behind a dollar sign.
It sucks that lack of just home remedy knowledge Like a simple solution could have saved literally countless of lives,
And money.
and just a simple treatment, simple little bless you, Frank.
Thank you.
You need an onion?
You need an onion.
You need an onion for that sneeze?
Just my life back.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Sneezing my life away here.
Yeah, just simple solutions to help countless infections, countless people. Just like simple things, and at least prevent countless addictions at the same time.
Bro, what?
100%.
Opioids, what? And just to go further beyond on that, it's just like when Manny was talking about the dollar sign right now, like especially like and this is perspective through like the United States specifically. I'm gonna just like say that the last time. It's just so I don't have to keep saying it. But this is all through the perspective of us living in the United States. It's like we live in such a transactional society, right? Like it's not really, you never really just help somebody just because you can or you know what you should. It's more like
what I get out of it.
It's
what
what
can
you
I
get
get out
out
of it? Even with not even like money, bro. Like sometimes it's just like if we're talking like just like I say like a underdeveloped male dealing with a lady, and they think, or even a underdeveloped lady dealing with an underdeveloped man, like mentally, right? Like they still act like children, where like they think like, oh, what can I get out of this person? Like, what can I get out of this relationship, and how can I toss them away after I'm done with them?
Wow.
No, but that's how people think, though.
That's not where I thought you were going with that.
No, but that's how people think, though. Like, it's not always like in a intimate sense. It could just be like because I'm just bored.
This took a social turn.
But no, but this is all social. This all has an effect on like our lives. Like I'm being so serious though, because it's just like you have all these corporations like putting a dollar sign on us, right? Like they no way that pill costs $1,000, bro. They're getting like a 300, maybe a 1,000% profit on that, on one pill.
Oh no, there's definitely an upcharge versus the production cost to actually make it. Yeah, 100%.
Bro, like, but like, and it's just like, and like, you know, my fiance, she works with medications, so she knows how much it costs. Like, and people that actually need like asthma medicine and things like that, like inhalers, cost like people like literally go to get like medicine and they can't afford to get it, so they're just screwed. They're just screwed. They can't do nothing about it if their insurance messes up or they don't feel like paying for it. And this is the medication that they need. Like when you're talking about like a painkillers, like at the end of the day, you can't just like thug it out the pain, even though it sucks. And like I'm not saying like that's easy, but I'm just saying like you don't really need it to live. You feel me? But it's
100%.
But like this,
I'm not gonna disagree with that.
no. But I'm saying like that's how the what's it called? The pharmaceutical corporations is like, and we're not even talking about food, bro. Beef. Bro, most of the beef owned like by like that comes into the United States is owned by one company.
Yes.
Like, how is that not crazy? And like, you got these FDA regulations that like
that are in favor of these companies.
that are in favor of these companies. And it's just like where do we end up on that scale, bro? Like we're cooked. And it's like, and as people are starting to realize these things, and like they're starting to depend less on them. Like just the other day, I saw a video of some dude reviewing baby food. And like in a supermarket, and every single thing you see in a supermarket, bro, that's baby food, it's all bad.
Oh no, yeah.
That causes literal mental disorders to children. That like literally affects their brain development and function. And that's why you have an increasing quantity of children with like autism and like all those different diseases on the spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Disorders.
There we go. So many research is done on like all these different things all over the world that are widely viewed as like, yes, this is bad. And we just be like, who cares? It's cheaper. They've even delved into vaccines. Say what you will about vaccines, right? But like, I'm not saying that vaccines themselves, the concept is bad, but some of the vaccines that they're giving people have all these extra things in them that are not necessary. That literally, there's been a research that they've done recently. Granted, I'm going to just say this. I did not look at the actual research.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this through someone telling me in like a trusted source, right? A person that I'm trusting as a source of this information, that they got it from a trusted source as well, right? That the research on like the amount of vaccines we give to children compared to the amount of cases of like autism and like all these different mental disorders, and it literally increases with the vaccine. And this is like a worldly like research thing, but we still like push all these vaccines and all these different like food and like no education on these foods and what's actually in these products that we're giving our children, our elderly, our people. and like they just don't care because they just want to make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's keeping up with the agenda thing that we spoke about before. Is the fact that when you have this society that's easily, I don't want to say manipulated because that's the wrong word, but easily influenced into
That's good. That's a good word.
into thinking that this thing is good for you, like option A is good for you, and option A comes with no repercussions, and then you don't really do that research yourself and look into it to say, oh, this is the side effects of this of option A. And it goes back to having that agenda of we want to control this set of people or these groups of people that are, I would say, and this is just me again, targeting the middle and lower class that they feel are uneducated and can't fend for themselves, so we can give them whatever the heck we want and they'll believe it's good for them. That's the way it is.
Yeah, and people are always trusting bigger brands, but like,
Yep. It's really laziness.
like there's a lot of things that have high fructose corn syrup that realistically,
And corn oil's terrible for you.
well, going off of like high fructose corn syrup,
specifically.
like there really is no additive to really have it aside from, is it a little sweeter? Is it addictive? Probably.
Yes, it is. It
But
is.
mainly in the sense of like, does it actually add something to the actual item in terms of flavor and taste? No. The only thing that's added is it because it is included. Whoever owns that patent gets an extra bit of money out of it. Every time it gets produced, every time it gets sold. That's the only thing it does.
It's just a filler.
Yeah, 100%. That's why, I think we should not only continue the development of DIY culture, we should make it like just a normal thing that should be happening around the United States.
That used to be a normal thing.
But it used to be, and then like somehow all these corporations and government agendas started kicking in and blinded society into thinking that they knew what's best for us when they really don't. They just need money and power to just look over at everybody else. That's all it is.
And it's just like I don't want to blame too much on the government as well, because obviously it's definitely a big factor. Because at the end of the day, really, it's just our laziness and our
It enabled it.
and then our convenient and like us wanting to be more convenienced. That's why this DIY culture is like such a good thing for like the mentality of the United States, right? Because it allows us to be more impactful and actually make a change and for the better of our society. And when you look at homesteaders specifically, because like I think
What exactly is homesteading?
homesteading is like kind of having your own self-sustaining ecosystem in your own house, like everything, like almost like having a farm, but like usually on like a smaller scale, or like you also include that into your everyday household, like
Snowpiercer.
what? Oh, I don't know. I've never seen that.
Oh, good movie. Basically, world freezes over except for on this train, and everything they do on the train, like let's say if you want shrimp,
Yeah.
then you can only have shrimp once a year, only because the shrimp have to actually reproduce. Because if not, then you're gonna literally kill them off, type of deal.
Okay, then yeah, exactly. So like it's basically like zombie apocalypse, but you have your own self-sustaining place, and you don't need to go anywhere else.
Good movie. Chris Evans.
Yeah, because like you see that all around. Like even people like having
Yeah,
educational videos on how to grow your own farm and all that stuff. Because like believe it or not, like if you have food stamps, you can actually buy seeds to grow your own stuff. You don't have to keep buying stuff at the store, which is crazy. Like I didn't know that. Like, you could literally start your own farm with food stamps, and it's legal. Because seeds are actually covered in the food stamps. By the time you hear this, double check. But because that's just right now, I just know that. But it's just like, but yeah, like you just see like these homesteaders. And like I think like it really started going up when you saw like the scares of like the war and like people just realizing like, yo man, like I'm relying so much on this, like so much on society, social media, corporations, government. Like what happens if I just do it on my own? That little step that you take, and like obviously it's hard because like you got to let go of a lot of convenience, like a lot of it, especially in the beginning before you like establish that cycle in your house of like growing food. Everything you use, you got to use it for something else. Compost. Growing other things.
Everything has a sense of timing for it.
Exactly. And like you over here like buying lettuce, right? When literally you could just cut the leaves off the top, let it grow back and get more lettuce. Like and this is something that you just buying in the grocery store, right? It's something you're buying in the grocery store. Like even basil, bro. Like you get the basil plant, or like you just get basil, grow it. And you don't need to keep going back to buy more basil. You can just let it, wait for it to grow, cut off a little piece, wait for it to grow back, and that's it.
And then you got basil for free.
Basil, basically for free. Yeah, you got double, triple, quadruple the basil, and you only bought it once.
And if you ain't putting basil in your food, are you really trying?
Or rosemary, like Manny likes to do.
Or if you're not putting rosemary on a steak, are you really trying?
And it's just like, and it just goes to
Rosemary and
show.
butter.
There you go. You see, oh my God, I'm shaking your hand right now. Hold on. Yes.
And it just goes to show like how one little step can go from like of like inconveniencing inconveniencing yourself just a little bit of extra work, and you can save so much time and money. It's just like, and it's like, but like I don't always blame just the people, because this is just a lack of information, right? Because in my mind, I don't, unless you have like something medically wrong with you, right? You're not dumb. Like, you're not dumb. Like, for real, like people aren't dumb. It's just
Like,
what it really
you dropped
is.
out of high school, you're still not dumb.
No, you're not. You're not dumb. I'm being so serious, because like when it comes to people that are actually dumb, what we're really talking about is just a lack of education. Because I promise you, bro.
Well, lack of education mixed with a little bit of laziness.
A lot of it. A lot of
Actually, a lot of it.
A lot of
I mean,
laziness.
yeah, but think about it like this: if your mom never taught you to brush your teeth, would you have done it as a child?
No, I'd be dead.
Exactly. Like, you would have no teeth, bro. Like, it's just that simple. Like,
You'd have been gumming.
sometimes it starts at the house, but it's just like, and then that leads me to say like you see this. No, let me not get too deep into that. Actually, let me not.
This man
it goes into
from going on a rant.
yeah, for real, facts. I'm being so serious. I can talk about this. This affects so much, but I'm not gonna get into all that right now, right?
But hone it in.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Look, in conclusion, we just want to put it out there.
Whoa.
We're
No
not
conclusion.
We're not done.
No conclusion yet.
Sorry.
No
We're
conclusion.
not done, buddy.
Okay, well, now you gotta cut that out. But
It's fine.
Trust and believe. I gotta edit it.
But I'll do.
I gotta listen to this episode getting a little choppy at some points. Okay.
I'll do a fact. That's a fact.
hey, we picked it up really well. I don't want to hear it.
I'll do the conclusion. I'll do the
Okay.
conclusion. Don't worry about it.
But
That threw me off. I'm not expecting.
I ain't gonna lie though, I am jealous. Granted, living conditions back then were a little crazy. I'm talking about like with pilgrims.
Oh,
'Cause-
I don't know how far back you were going. I ain't
Literal,
gonna lie.
like the original DIYers being like, oh,
You mean like life?
let's live here.
Life.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not even DIY. It's just life.
I was like, let me be here. There's
No
some trees
spice,
here.
no
Let me
flavor.
take these trees. Let me build my own house from scratch.
Pocahontas. Yeah.
No, yo.
Yeah. After hearing what that story actually is, can't look at it the same anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like a big dream
Yeah. I
of
know what you
mine.
mean.
And
I think I know what you're gonna say.
yes, because I really wanted. Granted, my current living situation, trying to fix this house is a process and a half.
It's because it's because of where we live.
Oh no.
And the people in charge.
And the people.
And
That's
the
fine.
people in charge.
I
No,
know,
no,
but
it's
I'm
the
saying
people
like
in
it's
charge,
even if you had good people in charge, it's still difficult because of where we live.
Again, not even throwing anyone under the bus, but like that is fact.
He's speaking in a generality.
Yeah, I'm just trying to speak
specifics.
general. Yeah, you're speaking
Yeah.
specific for you.
I have a specific example. Oof.
Nah, let it rock. Just continue what you're
Um,
saying.
Let it rock.
It's
Stone.
a very, very big goal of mine to eventually get into a position where I could literally from scratch, ground up, like empty,
You yourself?
empty, undeveloped lot.
Yeah.
See the whole process of a house built up.
You yourself.
Yes.
Like on your own, your bare hands. Like our
Yeah.
grandfathers back in the day, or great grandfathers at this
yes.
point.
Broken.
My father.
Yes.
Nah, it's still not the
Because
same.
granted, I mean, originally it was more in the sense of like
means,
building
like,
a tiny house,
No foundation.
no foundation, no nothing from scratch.
That was no foundation.
I meant, but he means an entire house though. That's a little bit different.
I mean, based off of that, I believe he could do it.
I mean, I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying he didn't do it.
Like, well, my current place of work, I got resources, but
I wonder if they deduce where. Just curious.
Have you used your context?
Where do you think Joseph works?
Put it
Question in the comment section.
I need a new job.
Hurry up before this episode comes out.
But
Go ahead.
yeah, no, I've always had a dream, and I granted it was like a 2.5, 3 year, like literally me consistently watching these tiny house videos of people
Yep.
building their own house. Granted, I hate the mobile ones because I'm just like, what if I like the tire pops and the house just go? But that's just my
That's a
mentality.
fact.
No, that's
Nah, if I'm building a house, it's
going
gonna be stable it's gonna stay where it is, bro.
Exactly.
If I want
And-
mobile, I'll go get an actual mobile home.
I could just get an RV and call it a day.
That too.
Yeah, you still gotta buy it though.
That's true.
Yeah.
But either which way,
Well, you ain't building a car from scratch. I'll tell you that.
you can. There was a guy in Hawaii.
Brother,
He
this
named
ain't the
it.
Flintstones.
Well, I don't care.
You can build a coconut cart.
He built a car. Again, this guy is a mechanic or whatever he does, but he wanted to make a car, and I don't. Like, he literally built the chassis from scratch. He built everything from scratch. No other car like it, and I just remember he called it the 777 something.
We should invite him to the triple take. So he
It's
can show us
green.
The 777.
I remember that. But yeah, my dream in life is to make my own tiny house.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I mean, it won't be a tiny home for me personally, but because I want like a big family. But either,
Well, that's like 7 kids.
That's a fact.
that's yet to be accomplished or
Yeah.
seen.
If there's a plan, there's a
If
plan
we're
up
gonna
there.
do that,
There's a plan.
probably not.
Plan will
Probably
happen.
not. But
He's
whatever
gonna call
God,
them the 777.
whatever. That's crazy. whatever God gives me, I'll take it. This is how it is. But either way, like I agree with what you're saying. But I'll build like a big house, like or like not a huge, but decently sized. But I want to do that too, like build my own house from foundation and from scratch everything.
Even though it's a small like wish, if I had to like pick a location, I don't know why I would want to live on a mountain. Not necessarily.
Oh, like inside of it, right? You said
well, aside from inside of it,
On
but
the
like
side
a
of it?
mountainous area. Not
wanna
necessarily.
live
so
near
not
the
Florida.
mountains?
So not Florida.
Yeah.
You want to live in Colorado?
I mean, there's more places than
I mean,
that,
not
but
No, I'm just like
I wouldn't
I'm just
necessarily
giving you
like
a
that.
general area.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorta, yeah. I find those areas very beautiful.
No, I
You just want to walk outside, look right, and see a giant mountain.
Believe
right
it or
there.
not,
Yeah.
I think that will actually do wonders for your skin because it's less contaminated.
This is
Probably.
why. This is exactly why you got chosen to live in an igloo, like or stuff like that.
Oh, most likely to this man. I forgot about that.
I'm
I
done.
can see it.
I'm not talking for the rest of the episode. This is where I sign off. I'm Joseph.
I'm dead.
You can't. You're in this. You're in too deep.
Okay, but like, but really, like, just to kind of bring it all together, because Joseph don't really want to talk no more, so I guess I'll end it here. But oh, unless you want to say something, man. You want to say something?
I just wanted to
Yeah, go
say
ahead.
when it
So
comes
like-
to when it comes to something that I want to do myself.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, I would like to learn. Actually, not even learn. I just want to build my own. I would say like, because I already did it, but I want to build my own shed, but just me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, build your own
Like-
version.
like my own version of a shed.
like a man cave.
Exactly.
No, I think that's most men's dream.
That's just me.
That's
Because
true.
technically, I already did it, but I did it for my father, and with his help, I want to do it myself. Like just me, and then I design the inner, and the outer.
The inner mechanisms
Because the inner mechanisms of my mind.
are an enigma.
But that's something I've always wanted to do on my own.
Nah, I think I share both of y'all dreams. Honestly, like that's a part of it about building my own house. Like I want to make it the way I want. You know, obviously that takes capital.
I don't know
It's just
why.
what I want.
It was just one stupid thing
I
I've
guess
always.
he's talking.
Yeah, I'm back. Whatever.
It's okay.
There's
I know
one
he was gonna do
stupid
it.
thing that I
Signing
wanted to do. Joseph.
Friends online.
I've always wanted to churn my own butter. I
I
don't
think
know
you
why.
said that before.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'll eat the butter.
I heard churn my own butter. I'm like,
Churn.
Churn.
what does churn mean?
Kind of the same thing.
You ever seen how butter is made like back in the day?
No.
Oh,
I think they still make it like
it's an
that.
experience.
I'm sorry. I'm not looking.
I think they
up
still
how
make it like
butter
that.
is
It's just
made.
more mechanical.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I feel like I've
it's true.
disappointed you.
It's like you have a little skinny barrel with a little stick.
Think
and you literally
Amish.
just
Think Amish.
churn
Think
it.
Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to Amish country. I've seen this.
You ever seen them with the stick and a little tub at the bottom, kind of going like that?
I've seen. I don't think he was churning a butter.
But you could churn other things, Manny.
Yeah.
Of course. Can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you churning? What can you churn? Just give me like three quick examples. Rapid. Go.
I mean, if you're like milling corn or milling grains, that's also a way to do it. Even though technically you call it milling, but the same principle is used for churning.
Okay.
Like churning is basically taking a
liquid and solidifying it.
And solidifying it. Yeah. You can
Tomato
kind of do
soup.
that with what?
Tomato soup.
Why would you solidify tomato soup?
Yes and no.
Well, the
'Cause if
tomato.
you churn it enough, you end up getting tomato paste.
Yeah. Paste. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See,
A
like,
lot
you
of-
understanding it
a
now?
lot
So
of
it's more
fruits-
of a solid than it is turning it into a.
It's like a Lao squid.
Yeah.
Lao squid.
Sure.
Okay. I'm.
Depending on when you
Kind
stop
of
the process.
understanding.
You know, like you have
Kinda
guava like fruit, and then you
I hate guava. Go
and
ahead.
but you know how guava paste is a thing.
No.
I'm gonna shut up.
You're Hispanic. You should know this.
Anyway.
I don't because I don't like guava.
Even though there was
And
one
anything
thing,
anything that isn't naturally a paste that turns into a paste, you have to churn it.
And one thing that I'm really proud of, as I
No.
did, that I did myself. Jesus.
Are you good?
One thing.
I don't get this.
Obviously.
One thing that
We're
I
just bad at
did
explaining.
on
Go
my
ahead.
own, without looking it up or anything, I think it was my older or younger a sibling
One of
that
them.
wasn't me.
A sibling that wasn't.
I'm
And
assuming
on
that
the
is.
PlayStation 2, they jammed a video
funny.
game in the thing, and like the CD thing would open, but it couldn't because the CD literally went up and it just wouldn't come out.
Or wouldn't directly go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would like get stuck. Okay, I know
You-
what you're
So the CD
he
was
got
pegged
it
in
stuck in
there.
a Wii. You got it stuck in a PS2.
I didn't get
I'm not the
nothing
one that got it
stuck.
stuck.
Everyone else did.
not
I'm the one that got it out.
See
Literally,
these
like
guys shifting the blame. Crazy work.
I got it out, and it was like that for 5 years.
You got it out, but you put it in.
I didn't put it in. I can guarantee that.
Because for me, it was a disc and a penny. Because the little kid decided that, oh, that's a piggy bank.
Oh, okay. We know who
Get
it
it.
is. He only has one
Okay,
sibling.
got it.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't a sibling. It was a cousin. A little
Oh,
cousin.
Jesus. Anyway,
Hold on, even.
with a
Little kid.
Phillips screwdriver. Right, Phillips screwdriver and a butter knife.
And a butter knife.
You basically picked the lock.
Yeah, I kind of like opened up the PS2 and I got the CD out.
Crazy work.
I'm proud of myself.
Nah, that's pretty
And
good.
it still works.
I
And
wouldn't-
the game works, surprisingly.
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
It wasn't the
without a
Spider-Man
video.
game because that thing did not work.
We don't want to talk about that. That was a PS1.
But no, 100%. I feel you guys. You know, like, and honestly, like, I kind of want to. I dream of like with my fiance, like having our own farm and like a little thing. Yeah, shut up.
He wants to live in Australia.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I don't. Heck no. I'm staying hella far from
Spider
Australia.
trees.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Kangaroos.
That's all your brother, bro.
Kangaroo Jack.
That's all your brother, bro. The only thing I would want to do is visit very briefly to pet a kangaroo. That's it.
Yo,
I feel like that
it'll
kangaroo-
pet
A baby
I feel
one.
like that
A baby
kangaroo-
one.
I feel like that kangaroo would have problems with
A
you.
baby one. They're cute.
Just the way you look, just the way you're looking at it, it'd probably have a problem with you.
Me?
Yeah, the kangaroo.
Yeah. You think you're gonna pet it? It's
On the
gonna-
next
it's
episode
gonna
of the
pet you.
Triple Take, what animal can you take in a fight?
I could take a kangaroo.
An octopus.
I could take a gorilla.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, we're ending on that
On the
one.
next episode.
Yeah, but no, for sure. But sure, I feel the way you guys are going. That kind of goes hand in hand with DIY culture. I just want to have my own sustainable ecosystem in my own house. Like I don't have to go outside.
Yeah, I just want to be able to have that level of not necessarily independence. So I mean, that would be nice. Like individuality in the sense of like I could problem solve if like I need to.
Yeah, like not because you have to, because you need. Cause no, like, you don't have to go out because you have to. You have to go out because you feel like it. And it's just like, and I want to go back to those days where
Put
like,
that on a shirt, my guy.
and you want to go
Enough
back.
of your shirts.
Man, I want to go back to those days of like, okay, this guy got mangoes. I got strawberries. I'm not gonna eat all these strawberries. Let's trade.
Like we're good neighbors.
Stay Farm is
Farm
there.
We're good neighbors. But here you can have these strawberries. Give me some mangoes.
Yeah.
Like casual.
Because
bro.
usually when you grow stuff, like, and that gives people more incentive to be part of their community, like really go into farmers markets and stuff like that. But yeah, either way, like DIY culture, I think it's a great movement. I hope you guys are interested and like look it up and kind of do something for yourselves.
do
educate
your own
yourselves.
research.
Yeah.
Get stop being lazy.
Let us know. Can you really do it yourself? No? Find out.
Be more independent. Stop relying so much on government and your mom.
Exactly. Leave your mom alone.
Anyway, guys, this has been the Triple Take. I'm Frank.
I'm Manny.
I'm Joseph.
Peace.